Now, I know after the last episode, a lot of you have been wondering if I'm okay. Now, I've gotten to that point where I am okay because I finally have a healthy, normal way to deal with my frustrations. I shall call you Alberto. ASSHOLE! Hello, and welcome to this episode of The Guido Goes Off. Once again, thank you for watching, and let's get started. Another suspension coming down from WWE. It was announced on Thursday by WWE that Eva Marie had been suspended for 30 days due to her first violation of WWE's wellness policy. Now again, in addition to Del Rio and Page, this makes the third suspension, and it was within 24 hours. Very odd case that all of this has happened. Now, here's where it gets really odd. Eva Marie's husband promptly put out a tweet saying that he and his wife were going to fight this unjust and ludicrous suspension. He has subsequently deleted this tweet, and also Eva Marie issued a statement. In the statement, Eva Marie said that the reason for her suspension was because she did not submit. She had a deadline to submit paperwork for her test, and she didn't make the deadline. So, according to Eva Marie, she's suspended for 30 days due to a clerical error. Now, again, one, a lot more people have had a laugh about this because it's Eva Marie. Again, not a very popular talent with the fans. Two, WWE frowns upon talent commenting on their suspensions during the suspension period. You can talk about it all you want afterwards, I guess. Three, really? You're going to use paperwork as an excuse. Good. Paperwork? You're going to use paperwork? Now, in TNA news, very surprising turn of events. Cowboy James Storm has announced that he is done with TNA. Again, this comes after his after the Impact tapings this week. I believe it was midweek. Now, Storm had tweeted there were some things he can discuss because of, as he quote, legal BS. But from what we are understanding, it was a contract issue. Now, as we talked about in some earlier show, TNA is going through a leadership restructuring, with Billy Corgan taking over day-to-day operations and holding the mantle of president of Impact Ventures, which is TNA's parent company. So, again, it's very, speculation there as far as why he left. My guess is he was asked to take a pay cut, and he's like, screw you. But that's just me. Plus, with everybody leaving. Everybody, you had Eric Young leave. You had Bobby Roode leave. And he was talking, I stayed because I'm loyal. It's probably very similar to the AJ situation where it was, hey, I've been with this company, I love this company, and they're like, yeah, well, that's all well and good, we need you to take a pay cut, and you're like, what? Now, as far as where he's going to end up, a lot of fans are thinking and hoping and praying that he's going to end up with it back in NXT. As reported earlier, he did go to NXT. He did do a couple of shows. He did work as a semi-coach at the Performance Center. It's the understanding that he wanted more. He was offered a contract. He turned it down because TNA offered him more money, and the devil you know versus the devil you don't situation. So that is a thought. He could go back to NXT. Now, I have heard some rumors that he and Triple H aren't on the best of terms. And as much as I could believe that, you can't let bad blood get in the way of good business. So I do see him more than likely coming back to NXT. However, and because right now Lucha Underground has already wrapped up season 3, so you wouldn't see him for a year. So maybe Indies, if not NXT, probably Ring of Honor and Indies, all of the above. Maybe trying his luck in Japan. As we know, he's been in the business for almost 15 years now. So he's got some time left, but it's a very limited window. So I could see him making that run in WWE again. However, there's a lot of places where he can make decent money. So sorry about your luck. Damn luck, TNA. Again. Ladies and gentlemen, GQ Magazine put out an article on the Four Horsewomen. Now, the article itself is, it is a puff piece, complete and total puff piece, but it does help kind of illustrate the path of the Four Horsewomen into their position now as a big part of the women of elevating women's wrestling in WWE. However, this article, and at least its title, makes it sound like they are the second coming. Now, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. Becky, Sasha, Bayley, and Charlotte are extremely talented wrestlers. They are, and they have brought this new energy into women's wrestling. And like I said, don't get me wrong, I'm a huge fan of Bayley. I'm a huge fan of Becky. A lot of fans love Sasha, and Charlotte is okay. That's where somebody's going to say she's gotten better. I'm like, and I'm not going to argue. Now, saying that these 4 women, and just these 4 women, are the only reason people are watching women's wrestling is completely ludicrous. WWE and NXT both have a great amount of talent. Granted, these women are a part of it, but they're not all of it. And that's what rubbed me a bit wrong about this article. I mean, yes, it told the stories of these women and how they got into the business and all that. And yes, like I said, they're extremely popular, they're extremely good, and they are a big part of this women's revolution. My issue is with it is there's other women that have helped these women to get to this point, to where they are making that difference in WWE, and this article never mentions them at all. I mean, there's no mention of AJ. There's no mention of, like the women of of all the women, the women that inspired these women. Trish, Lita, heck, even Paige was mentioned like a tiny little bit as a tag team partner for Sasha. These women are standing on some pretty impressive shoulders. And to neglect that fact, I feel you neglect the entirety of this division. And while the accomplishments of the Four Horsewomen are admirable, and it brings up that level of competition in WWE, the way this sounds is just that they're it. Like, it's only these four women in WWE's women's division. And it's a lot more than that. A lot more talent than that. So, I mean, if you can go to GQ.com. You can read it for yourself. And if you think I'm way off base, well, okay. Well, that's going to do it for this episode of The Guido Goes Off. Once again, thank you for watching. If you have anything to say about what I talked about this episode, feel free to drop a line in the comment section below. Of course, you can always check me out, talk to me on my poorly drawn Twitter and Instagram. And of course, please don't forget to like and share and subscribe, because it really helps me out. You guys are awesome. I'm the Guido, and I think we're done here.